Okie dokie. So, we've already been through here. Get our asses back outside. What other humans exist? We've met the old lady. We checked the inn. We checked the mayor. We checked the fishing village. So we got the merchants and we got the hunter. Are my people that still come to mind. And then we'll have to deal with whatever my options were that I found.
I hope you've had some luck, and do take care with that device. It has a few rather delicate components.
I didn't find any ore deposits, but I did find this.
What? So it works? What a day! But why these gems? I didn't think the device would be able to pick up inert Audra. Fascinating. I have to study this further, but all the same, it worked! At last, a breakthrough! With that Audra to work from, I can refine the enchantments. We'll be digging up iron, gold, Audra, all of it.
Happy to help.
This is going to change everything. Oh, and I won't leave you empty-handed, of course. Here, I had this set aside for supplies, but I don't think I'll be staying in Stalwart much longer. I won't forget all you've done for me. They'll hear about this back home, I promise you. Who knows? Perhaps they'll name the next battery after you.
That's what that was about. Her name did not stick with me. Ista.
This is going to be fantastic. Just wait till they hear about this back home.
The downside of getting every single quest in one run, as opposed to the back and forth I'm used to. Whoops. Still, we had other instances where my other approach led to situations where I found every single... I would find the objective or the item or even kill the creature or whatever of a quest before I found the quest. Then you have the awkward moment of like, yeah, huh, yeah, already took care of that. You're welcome. Wow, gee willikers, sir. And then you get the reward in the same conversation as when you found out about the problem in the first place. Isn't that always a funny pickle? You go back up here. This is the last building to check, I think. The last place that has named characters. And then I gotta choose whether I want to turn the poor, innocent little girl into whatever happens, or the old lady that sits around alone in a home.
Welcome.
Thirst's soul is a vibrant, stolid thing. And as you reach out for it with your senses, you see your breath begin to fog in the air. You find yourself far above the ground, wedged into the juncture of two branches. The moonlight is bright upon the snow, and in the distance your quarry steps out onto the ice, as if onto an illuminated stage. You still your breath and draw back your arrow. Warmth bleeds back into your limbs, frost and snow giving way to the smoky interior of Thirsk's home.
Welcome. Have a seat by the fire if the cold's gotten into your bones.
He's just some dude. He's the hunter. He's got his own dark past that isn't that. Gotta say, it kind of feels like a coin toss where neither choice feels really good to me. But I might have to deal with the old woman. Maybe it's just more awkward when there's the poor little girl with her doe eyes being like, "What's up, mister? How you doing? I'm just trying to keep up with my day of work here at the inn." And then you like permanently change her forever. I don't know.
Got to speak up? My hearing ain't... Did you say something? Me? I was the overseer, but I still remember plenty about the mining business. And I got as many folk as I can digging out the entrance. Been praying to the salty wench that I don't forget too much afore they finish the job.
Yeah, her mind's going. Does not have a very positive future.
Got to speak up? My hearing ain't what it was.
It's kind of a double between the forgetting and the aging. Awaken, Zenove, and remember your battle in the feast hall. A tremor passes through Tiana's face, and then her rumpled skin goes slack. After a racking cough, she blinks like someone slowly coming to consciousness.
That name. It carries memories of death, war, fury, the taste of blood. What do you want with it?
Her eyes have grown unusually clear. A true warrior was buried beneath. It would explain the dead bodies all around her. I need to enter Durgan's battery.
What trickery is this, stranger? You think a Pargrin would so easily betray her own people?
Her hands clench and unclench around an imaginary weapon. Zenove's essence stirs with the same battle-ready furor you sensed in her memory from Durgan's battery. She is dangerous. Beneath Zenove, Tiana's overwhelmed consciousness struggles. The last of your people disappeared hundreds of years ago. There's nothing left to betray. Zenove's rage is a heavy fog that clots and thickens, choking Tiana's fading consciousness. Zenove herself is overwhelmed, and she forces Tiana's eyes into narrow slits.
Lies! Arms Warden Maroon will see you cast into the White Forge!
Look around. Would you be here, stuck in an old woman's body, if I were lying? Zenove is at last overwhelms Tiana, screaming through the old woman's mouth. In that instant, Zenove's psyche expands, filling you with a lifetime's worth of memories and experiences, including a set of verses that you know to be the cantic of Durgan's battery.
Hammers of Durgan, ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. Walls of the battery, safeguard our works from marauder and wilder alike. Abidun's faithful travail by the forge and the fires that brighten the ore.
It's too much for Tiana's dying consciousness. It shrivels and vanishes as Zenove, now in full control of Tiana's body, attacks. Oh, shit. Well, that didn't go well at all. We got our answer, but that's that. Well, shit. Yeah.
Right.
Not the outcome I was expecting. That's a bummer. Once again, yeah, didn't get. There was no option to ask for the consent of either person about the idea.
Ever think you'd be happier if you put the destruction of your village behind you?
Gotta hold on to what I can. Memory's the one thing Galvino didn't take from me.
Maybe that's what's driving you crazy.
Hey, this kind of crazy takes work.
This kind of crazy takes work. Back to Durgan's battery. But on top of the lack of consent option of just asking people whether or not they're willing to take the risk, that was not the expected outcome. I thought maybe the new permanent awakening becomes a problem for her going forward. Or maybe she even... Oh my god, get out of here, slaver. Or maybe, maybe she'd be a danger to the people around the town, and that's a thing to consider. Instead, she just straight up attacked me on the spot, which, resolves that, I suppose. Resolve is a word for it. Bad visitor. Yeah, that's one thing I'd call it. Slightly weird how the game always judges the characters for me. Solmar the Shackler. 8 days. Solmar the Shackler, a slaver from Redsurus, has arrived at your keep, seeking your counsel on some business matters. Little awkward that you guys are doing this when I'm in the middle of the expansion. It's really far away from the main game. If you guys could just put those on hold for a bit till I get back. I don't really want to go back.
If it wasn't that, it'd be something else. Just their way.
Oh, that she was saying something. First, your neighbors hound you because you say the wrong prayers at supper time. What? That's the beginning of the conversation? First, your neighbors hound you because you say the wrong prayers at supper time. If it wasn't that, it'd be something else. Just their way of letting you know they care.
Way of letting you know they care.
Then some cross-eyed lord gets to stringing up your neighbors.
A couple of them were ones that have been hounding me, so that worked out at least.
It feels like there was more conversation before that point. Maybe there was. Maybe that's the implication of coming out of a loading screen directly into a conversation, is that you're getting it midstream. But I didn't even hear the first line get voiced. So it just sounds like Ed Air's responding even deeper into a conversation, more confusingly. Those things are the bane of my existence. I will load this game up and I won't be recording yet. And I'm just getting ready, and then they'll immediately start talking, and I'm like, oh no, reload the save. So that the conversation could go back into the random pool of things to draw later. Like when they talked about her cold hands earlier in the village, that happened when I loaded up the save right here, earlier that episode, and I'm like, reload the save. Don't want to lose that conversation. And thankfully it did play again later, so got that going for me. I should have rested while I was at the inn. Well, though the wind and the ice have pried long, jagged cracks in the walls, the doors feel as solid and as cold as a glacier. Gilded panels are arranged in columns along the doors. Though most depict scenes from daily life, dwarves chiseling at tunnel walls, hauling minecarts, or feasting at long tables, one pane at eye level catches your attention. It's a relief showing a crenulated wall and above it, an indentation in the shape of an anvil. Place the anvil tile in the relief. The anvil-shaped tile fits perfectly in the impression. You feel a warm thrum in your fingertips as you snap it into place. Leave it for now. What was the order of the messages? We might want to be careful. Could go poorly otherwise. Hammers, walls, Abaddon. Hammers of Durgan ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. Oh. I don't know about this one. You hear the melodic chime of metal on metal. You can push or strike the crenulated wall relief. Strike the wall? Nope. Hammers of Durgan ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. So you strike the anvil? As you do, a single ringing tone whistles through the air. Your hand buzzes and vibrates like struck metal. When you look back at the relief, the panels on either side of the wall and anvil have come alive. Ogres and warriors of all races gather for battle, their shapes and silhouettes formed by flaring, whorled heat patterns. The tiny figures move and dance, animated by the flicker and blaze of an unseen fire. Walls of the battery safeguard our works as the marauder from the marauder and wilder alike. You hear the heavy thud of some kind of mechanism loosening behind the plaque. Push the wall relief? It slides easily, with the slightest pressure of your fingers. You guide it up and over the anvil relief, where it clicks into place. Beneath it is a deep cavity. It's shaped like a dragon's gaping jaws. Abaddon's faithful travail by the forge and the fires that brighten the ore. Warm air gusts from the open mouth, tingling your cold-numbed face. Stick your finger in the cavity. Examine the mouth more closely. The heat billowing from the mouth prevents you from getting too close, but the rim of the cavity and the tiny teeth surrounding it are blackened with soot. You accidentally inhale some of the vapor. It's odorless, but it leaves you lightheaded. Sounds like a good way to lose your finger. Use your torch to light a fire in the mouth. Oh, you also notice the dragon's tongue is a fire striker. It's hinged and attached to a chunk of flint. I don't want to stick my finger in there. It's dangerous if I touch the tongue. Let's use my torch. Fire catches the warm vapor with a billowing whoosh. The dragon's eyes are alight, and flames lick at the edges of the mouth. A few seconds later, the panel is sliding away from you as the enormous doors swing open into a grand hall. What could go wrong? Hasn't been open for a very long time. And yet somehow I think there might be some monsters inside. Zombies, perhaps? Golems? You sense the presence of one of the other pieces of Geralt's helm nearby. Oop. And a bit of progress is made once again. The unworn path added. Among the kind wayfarers, in the event that a member of the Order dies of natural causes, it is customary for the Paladin to request burial in a dangerous place that is difficult to reach. In fulfilling their lost comrade's request, the other kind wayfarers forge new paths that others may more easily follow. When the elder Paladin Andrum Delphar died, his brothers and sisters set out for Redflower Lake in a remote eastern part of Vetzeris, but they never reached their destination. With so few kind wayfarers left in that part of the Eastern Reach, the Order has reached out for assistance in recovering their comrades and helping see them to their resting place. Sagani is a ranger, so she's good at this kind of everything about this situation, but also it resonates with her own story. So it kind of fits that she would help with this kind of mission. But she is kind of just an all-around good person to send on these kinds of missions all over the place.
This place feels like it doesn't want us here. Like a farmer with a good-looking daughter.
Ha! Speaking from personal history here. The statue of Abaddon is mottled and tarnished, but each bolt and rivet appears crafted with meticulous detail. I gotta remember... Oh, Durgan's battery is finished. Now it's the White Forge quest. I gotta remember Geralt's chorus. Last time I bought it from a merchant, right? I was just trying to remember if there's clues about how to find the parts, but I don't think there really was. I think you just gotta look. Money.
We earned this. Durgan's steel has lined our halls in gold. Your vanity dishonors Abaddon and cheapens us all.
These weapons are ours. Or have you two forgotten how to hold a sword?
If they need reminders that they're dead, I'd be happy to oblige them.
Did you see them? I thought those were just me. I thought that was like the premise, that only I could see them. But it sounds like Durgan saw them. That raises some questions. Battery shield wall. There it is.
Step lightly.
There we are. That might be what he was talking about. Okay. Let's get this started then. We have evil zombie dwarves that are maybe golems and maybe, I don't know. Oh, that's over. Goes quickly when there's only two of them. Yeah, I can hit those guys with ooh. Bronze Abaddon statuette. Many houses in Durgan's battery had a statuette of Abaddon that was cast in the White Forge. The original was made by a renowned Aptapo sculptor. There's a whole path through here. Yeah.
How long before the commandants come to blows? Did you see the look in Maroon's eye? Exandro had better watch his back.
Upside of a bunch of vessels that they're vulnerable to Durgan's AoE, which is nice.
And what does the flame reveal?
Uh-oh. Quick save. Oops, too late. Saw that ice, and I'm not psyched about seeing that ice.
Quit.
You guys could maybe do something about that thing. Immune to bludgeoning attacks. That means you should not be fighting it, because you can't hurt it. Whereas you should be fighting it, because you can hurt it. Glad we resolved that problem. And this will hurt all of those vessels. And help all of my allies. Oh, it's over. They're immune to bludgeoning and ice, I think. Whereas you, it's probably vulnerable to fire, right? And you have fire, and you do pierce damage. The Devil of Karok doing a stealth attack opener on the ice blight might even one-shot it if I'm lucky. At the very least, it should be what they're vulnerable to. Gauntlets of puissant melee. Just 10% melee damage, just outright. Gloves, gauntlets, and bracers offer blah 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 blah. It's just an explanation of what gauntlets are. Uninteresting. Oh, it's that slot. Deflection. Accuracy. Deflection is good, but melee damage is also good. One perception. This is only bonus to perception. Still, 10% melee damage might be better. He is the big hitter, right? Especially per hit. Wow. Wow, you actually have really high melee damage, even without enchantment. He has like he's dual wielding weapons that hit like two-handed weapons, and by dual wielding I mean he has two hands. This might be worth the change for you. 1 min damage, 2 max damage. It's something. And you can have these accuracies. Yeah. Is accuracy how does accuracy work? Accuracy. Gauntlets of accuracy is listed here. I don't see anything listed as being reduced. Accuracy -5. The weapon itself has an accuracy of negative. But then in +4. So the weapon actually reduces her accuracy by 1 overall until she's fighting a humanoid, in which case it goes up by another extra few points.
Yeah.
Zoltan's the only one with sense. Anyone who says otherwise is a fool.
That cheat sold our steel and kept the coin himself.
Maroon? She won't rest until our corpses decorate the halls.
Kind of redundant to say that Zoltan's the only one with sense and that anybody else who says otherwise is fools. The first statement already made a claim that everyone except for Zoltan is a fool. A bronze statue of Abaddon stands over incense, ash, and rusted metal tokens.
Traitors! Cowards!
Hello there, lots of ice plates. Too many ice plates. Not a fan of the number of ice plates. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Quick, shoot. Uh-oh. Crap triggered. We'll have to hope for the best. These guys are always a mess to fight. Yeah. Most of them crumbled pretty quickly. It seems that over time we're faring better and better against the ice plates.
Bye. Huh?
A great hall. Not sure what directions to prioritize at the moment. Fuck. Death ring. Hundreds of corrode damage. Holy shit. Alright. I can take a message. I get it. Take a break. Oh shit. How good did I make your mechanic skill? 8. That's pretty good. It's tied with Durance though.
Right here. Uh-huh. Ain't that special?
Tables, shields, and collapsed stones have been piled up to form an impassable barricade.
If you say so.
Oh. Wow. We're too bad at mechanics to get to this door. Unless I have special mechanics food or something. Or a scroll. Athletics. The scroll of lore that requires lore. We get more lore. Yeah. None of these are gonna get what I want. That means we want to look into foods if we can. If I can find the right category for them. Aren't there consumable foods that I can have? No, that'd be in potions. Gotcha. Some of these are insufficiently stacked at the moment. Really, I should probably just move on with all of them. Or at the very least, the ones on the quick bar what matters. There's no real reason to have an inventory full of them, because they could just as easily be in the stash. I don't know. I've let them take up too much space for too long. Because if handled differently, I can let my poor explorer actually have a bunch of books in his inventory. And be just completely overwhelming with that instead. Hooray. Endurance, recovery, regeneration, bulwark against the elements, and vital element, eldritch aim. Fleet feet. I don't think I'm gonna get what I want here. Yep, some of these have increasingly obscure effects, but I don't think any of those obscure effects are going to be better mechanics skill. I don't know, I kind of wish you could search by mechanic. Because like some of their effects are all over the place. Although a lot of them are just damage reduction or health. Yeah. There are some scrolls and potions that give you awfully specific things like increased lore. So there probably is a mechanics one, but I don't think I have it unless I missed it somehow. Which would suck. But, you know, there's a lot to look through. Nope. We're gonna have to be satisfied waiting for me to find the key, which probably exists.
We've got to survive by any means necessary.
We'll have blood in these halls before long.
The statue of Abaddon is mottled and tarnished, but each bolt and rivet appears crafted with meticulous detail. As you approach the doorway, a wave of essence ripples through the air. The ancient stones grind and groan around you, and a woman's voice echoes from the hall. It's apparently Arms Warden Maroon.
Stop right there. You must be some merchant come to speak with Zoltan.
There's a pause in which the woman's wrathful essence gathers like a storm cloud on the other side of a door. The entire room creaks from the pressure of her presence. Ooh, Zoltan. Another door?
Our illustrious coin master may let you plunder our armory, but I've got other ideas for dealing with your lot.
Her voice is sharp and loud, like the slamming of a door. As her words echo in the chamber, the ghosts startle and flinch, glancing about in agitation.
Turn and go before I show you how an arms warden deals with trespassers.
Who are you?
I'm Maroon, proud Pargrin and arms warden of Durgan's battery. And you're answering my questions now.
Stone grinds and crumbles at the sound of her voice. What's going on here?
Pargrunin quarrels are no business of yours, outsider.
Her tone is as cold and as icy as the halls around you. A group called the Leaden Key is seeking something here. The ghosts stir, looking around and shivering. Their eyes widen and glow as they light on you, as if they're noticing you for the first time. Just as quickly they gaze away and seem to forget you once more, but now they seem alert, wary.
Whoever you're searching for, I haven't seen them, and none get past me. Leave our halls. Go back to whatever land you hail from.
A draft moans through the bottom of the door. Your foundations were blessed by Abaddon himself. What harm could I possibly do?
You sound like Exandru. At least you're no friend of Zoltan's, then.
A gust of air sighs across your feet.
You may pass, but don't make me regret this. I'll be watching you.
Okay. Almost strangely easy to convince, actually. Before I go forward, though, I want to go back to a loose end that I didn't follow up on yet. Because that forward direction looks really important. This door closed in front of my face, which I assume I can't open. Or I can.
If you say so.
There's also this one, which apparently I need a lockpick.
Got it done.
Damn you both! My generation built this keep to honor Abaddon, not to further your greed and ambition.
We're Pargrunin. Our forefathers explored and conquered, but you've stuck us in this frigid hall.
Paved with gold and marble! I won't allow us to abandon our legacy for your delusions.
No, you'll peddle it away to line your pockets. How much have you made selling our steel, Zoltan?
Again with your lies. You think I don't hear you turning the others against me? These walls echo, and... Enough! I'll send the Forge Guardians on both of you if that's what it takes.
Internal bickering about the resources of their group. Oh. Well, here it comes.
Good thing I sold most of my jewelry.
Well, at least try to get close first. Not that close, though, apparently. Alright. Get him. Why can't I get her to, I was trying to get her to leave stealth so she could attack. Oh well. I guess she's still in stealth, so that means that her attack will be strong. Oops. How do I undo a command? Shit. I didn't mean to tell them to go running off into space. I want them to hit the guy. That guy? I don't know. That's bad. It'll make them disengage or change targets and a bunch of other bad things. Although right now they're just having trouble finding targets to hit, apparently. And now the fight's over. A lot of statues. Records of production.
If you say so. That'll do.
Boots of stability. Bonus against prone. Nice. Ring of Unshackling. Suppress affliction twice per rest. An effect that if I put it on somebody, I'll immediately forget is on them. Because I'm great at that. That's the door I just opened without lockpicking, so I guess lockpicking was kind of pointless. They were connected. Letter to Zoltan. And a good old diamond. Oh, and on this side the door was already open anyway. My bad. Daily affirmations of focus and efficiency. I'm pretty sure I already have that, actually. Pretty sure I've read that already. It's the one that sounds like a bunch of mottos and poetry about, forging, basically, right?
Quiet.
Like, it almost sounds like a religious text, but for forging. Did you just pick up Ed Air and teleport him to the back line? That's spooky. Things are going pretty cleanly, though. Is your AI turned on? I'm not sure why you're set to defend self. That's weird. I thought I had a pretty clear system, but he's set to a strange setting that I don't think I've ever used on purpose. Durgan copper bracelet. The Durgan's battery is mostly known for its steel. The refineries also produce extremely high quality copper that was used in coinage, art, and jewelry. This copper bracelet's typical of the jewelry that was produced in the community at its height. Mantle of wreathing flame. It's an aura. 6 DR against freeze, and people that hit that character take a bit of burn damage. 3 per rest. Disgusting per rest abilities.
He's a traitor to the battery.
Most of these crates and barrels are empty, and several are overturned. Looks as though they were cleared out in a hurry. A closed shutter. It seems like you can get behind it, but there's no visible way to do so. Let's do some checking through. Record of production. Here's the current accounting of this month's production. 20 long swords, 15 axes, weapons, armor. If the commandants remark on the production rates, kindly remind them that we received 3 different work orders from them. Vassal. Master Smith of Durgan's battery. A note to another hand is written at the bottom of the page. What does Exandru need with so many Forge Guardians? Keep an eye on him. It's gotta be Maroon. Letter to Zoltan. Esteemed Coin Master Zoltan, I write you in anger and bafflement. Have I not been a faithful customer to you? Have I not been fair in my dealings? Yet after all of our business together, your people turned me away like some filthy beggar. I arrived at the battery a fortnight ago, frost in my beard and not a morsel in my belly. Barely had I unhitched the horses when your commandant Exandru came to meet me. The priest told me that I would be made welcome, but my profane business would not. In short, I would have to leave at first light, my wagon's empty. Certain that this was but a negotiating tactic, I told Exandru that I would of course see him compensated along with you. He left in a huff, and when I presented myself at the door, it was Commandant Maroon, your arms warden, who met me. She told me to leave at once, that she wouldn't have my coin-grubbing hands tarnishing Durgan steel. Now, I appreciate forceful bargaining as much as any man of coin, but I was cold, hungry, and put off by her vehemence. So I showed her the letter you had sent, inviting me to examine your latest stock of Durgan steel. Commandant Maroon drove a rapier through the letter and sliced it in 2. Then she warned me that her blade, a fine weapon indeed, would be the last I ever laid eyes on if I did not hie back down the mountain at once. Never have I endured such humiliation and expense, only to return home empty-handed. I do not understand what has passed between you and your associates, but I urge you to take charge. I fear the other commandants will be your undoing. Indeed, that all of Durgan's battery, if you do not deal with them swiftly and decisively. swiftly and decisively. Yours, Mr. Aneto of Cesaro. Bill of sale. You unroll the scroll to see an inventory of weapons and armor, swords, shields, breastplates, and helms, all listed as sold to Lucan of Deerwood. Of Dunrid. Oh, Dunrid Row. The bill signed by Commandant Zoltan, Coinmaster of Durgan's Battery. Ah. So the Coinmaster was selling things out, but other characters are significantly less happy about that idea. How long have I had this flail in my inventory? Is that a recent addition? Because it feels like it's a recent addition. One-handed, fast, grazes become hits. Chance of dazing. And some per rest abilities. Yeah, you're a melee user, so you should have defense against prone. This comes in handy. Nobody else is using it right now.
She'll bring these walls down around us.
So it seems they didn't want resources going out into the outside world, whereas the Coinmaster was more than happy to sell things. And that was a point of contention amongst this group. Might even be the point of contention that led to the big conflict. Don't know if I should go up or down first. I suppose up was more accessible, so it might be the side direction. But hey, I'm over here already. Continue past the mines. Who is keeping this place lit up?
We can't hold them off!
Fall back!
So they were getting attacked. So it wasn't just internal strife. At least doesn't, unless that was them fighting each other, but I don't think that's the case. They had internal conflicts, but it seems like they were attacked by some other force. Maybe their minds opened up to something that they wouldn't want them to find. Like when the Darkspawn tend to appear. Hello. Ambushers. That's not very encouraging. I guess you can't shoot that far. Is your AI turned on, by the way? Yeah. Not sure she has that kind of range, frankly. Maybe best just to move forward until we're out of a shot range. So if they can't shoot me, then they're not much of a threat, are they? We'll have to come back around or something. She's having a bad time. And now y'all are boned. They do have a doorway to use against us, though. Blinded for 16 seconds. Nothing quite like blinding to make it easier to shoot somebody without them being able to accurately fight back. Are you not swinging, or no, you're just a very slow character? And they're dead. Things worked out eventually. What a mountain of loot items. A workshop. We have a label. Already going this way, though.
If you say so.
Don't blow up.
Got it done.
Don't blow up. There we go. Braces of spiritual power, 10% spell damage. Who could benefit? I suppose just you, and yours are full. 2 dexterity is a slightly weird fit, though. But if anything, we should save it for a character that, you know, properly uses spell damage, I suppose. Let's put my long-term items on you. It's your character that's always in the party, so you can hold items for other party members later. For when I make up my mind about that stuff. Ah, look at all this crap I accidentally put in her inventory. That's probably why that one weapon was there. Ah! I thought I was correctly selecting the stash. When did I make this many mistakes? Been a bit of an ongoing problem, really.
Yeah.
Swords and helms have been laid to the feet of the statue. Scattered skeletons lie prostrate before the shrine. Heat ripples and rises from the great covered hallways below you. That's pretty impressive for a skeleton to be prostrate. That means that the skeleton itself is still in the pose of prayer. Which means that they died. That means they died in that position and managed to stay in that position after they were dead. Even when all their soft bits decayed.
Out of my way!
Either that or somebody posed the skeletons. Less impressive and more creepy. Heat from the level below prickles your skin. That seems wildly dangerous. Let's go right across.
I will walk unseen.
Frost ooze, huh? In the lava-filled creepy place? Oh, hello. They're not happy to see us. Yeah. Get out of the goop. Quick, get out of the goop. Get out of the goop. For all the good it's gonna do. Yep, fight's clean and over. Now what is up over there? What? How are you gonna show me something that's shiny and weird looking and then be like, you can't even click on it? And holding tab doesn't even bring up an inspection point. Weird. It looks so vitally important at first glance. And yet it appears to be nothing. Or maybe the interaction doesn't pop up till I have context for it. Something burns beneath you, but you can't see what. Or I guess they're just lights. Judging by this.
They're coming over the
It's
barricade!
a fine touch. Really opens up the hall.
They're coming over the barricade. Oh, Zawa. Hey, how long have you had chat?
A hopeless battle was waged in Durgan's battery. They seemed to know that their deaths had come, yet many fought on.
Even now they continue to fight on.
Their bravery was not enough in the end. They might have made great Nalpazka warriors, if only they had been born to Khan.
Losing ground!
I never did find the next piece of the helm, did I?
They're coming! To the mines!
Oh.
A simple test.
Another very difficult to open door. Been a few of those lately. Either I'm gonna find keys at some point, or those just aren't openable by me. The wall's been smashed into great jagged shards. Only a few bones protrude from the rubble, and they've been broken like twigs. Skeletons lie crushed beneath enormous stone slabs. You're heading out that way. Oh. Okay. Fight. Evidently. These guys are not passive. Let's do what we can. There we go. Does that work on them? I would hope it does. Supposed to be dazing them? Yeah, weakened and dazed. Weakened and dazed. Also really good for the Devil of Karok that will take bonus damage from all of these targets as a result. She has that kind of range? Oh. Wow. She takes a while to fire. Guns are slow.
Huh?
The breastplates and cases, I don't know, are all smashed or bent beyond further use. These stone slabs have shattered like pottery. What is that? A heavy bronze suit appears to have been ripped apart, its pieces shattered across the floor. Scattered.
Let us in! They're coming!
As you approach the door, you notice a round depression within the surrounding frame. The molding around the depression is elaborately carved, with a row of foreign symbols lining the topmost circle of the edge of the circle. Examine the socket. The depression is about 3 finger widths deep, with a few small stone fragments jutting out from within the wall. Some pieces seem to rotate independently along slots, but they have no obvious effect in and of themselves. I need some kind of key in order to continue. Ah. A rune-engraved copper key. Despite the layer of green dust that covers the surface of this key, you can still distinguish elaborate runes adorning its bow. So that we have 3 locked doors so far, I believe. Yeah. That weird circular socket, it's probably not for a key. Oh, this is where the hall just kind of ends, apparently. To seek the White Forge in the north. Reach Old Valia in the west. A cold wind from the south. And bore our parents east. To seek the White Forge in the north, reached Old Valia in the west, a cold wind from the south, and bore our parents east. They all sound like the ends of sentences. None of them seem to fit together. Saying them in order doesn't seem to make sense, but saying them in other orders doesn't look like it would make much sense either. I guess a cold wind could be at the beginning of a sentence, technically. Like maybe a cold wind from the south reached Old Valia in the west, and bore our parents east to seek the White Forge in the north. So it could be south, west, east, north. But even if I have a sequence, I don't know where to input it. Strange little riddle. It's about that time, though. Have I read this one yet? The Queen That Was and Still Is. Dear sisters, do you remember your first deliverance? When you strangled your first wrongdoer? Did you see the moment when life became death? Did you see the instance where your victim realized that Wotica forgets nothing? When Wotica takes back her throne, will you face her with pride, knowing you've held your own oaths, or will you be among the word breakers? Wotica teaches vengeance and memory, and while she is in exile, we must be her eyes and ears that let no justice slip the record. We must be the clenched fist that silences the lying breath. When Wotica takes back her throne, all of the injustices that have slipped through the cracks of history will be righted. The villains hiding in plain sight amongst the innocent will feel the burned queen's choking grasp. Pray that you live to see the day when you will join our queen in this cleansing of the wicked. But know, my sisters, that we must be ready to see the end of our days without the return of our queen, for she will take back her throne. But it may be our daughters that serve the restored court. We must continue to live as we've always lived, hated by the other faiths, even though we place justice above our own well-being. At least the Empire of Adir still holds our creed in proper esteem. It is a proper sign of respect that, by imperial custom, our clergy must oversee contract for it to be legally binding. For who else understands the value of remembering one's oaths than Wetica's faithful? And let us not count our current blessings, for we still enjoy the support of the Paladin Order of the Steel Garrote. They too understand society is built and broken by the oaths and rules of its people. When Wotica takes back her throne, my family will know that I was right to commit my life to the exiled queen. When Wotica takes back her throne, the Strangler will stop being a story told to frighten our daughters, but a hero woven into parables that teach our children justice. When Wotica takes back her throne, she will bring her flawless memory with her. Every transgression, every crime, and every injustice will be revealed. When Wotica takes back her throne, even gods won't be spared their due retribution. I'm pretty sure I read that before. It sounds very familiar. The problem is trying to tell which ones are familiar because I've read the document before and which ones are familiar just because I've learned about that subject elsewhere in the game. Not always easy to tell. Missives of the Hand Occult. Dearest brother, or was it sister? May this letter find you in well spirits. A man of thuggish bearing stormed into my library the other day and demanded I help him find a book on the construction of an arquebus. I thought it proper service to Whale to steer this man towards an illuminated manuscript on the subject of whittling toy soldiers and other miniature props. Unamused by my solution, I shrugged and said, "What is an answer without a question?" He did not find my spiritual rhetoric helpful or amusing, and so he punched out 2 of my teeth. I trust your summer has been less tumultuous than mine. In more important news, my apprentice claimed she saw the eyeless face in a dream the other night. I must admit I was so mad with envy that at first I refused to believe her. Whale, forgive me for such a lapse in judgment. She described it in a maua of brilliant blue hues and a featureless face surrounded by a swarm of eyes, no 2 eyes alike. She claims Whale ignored her questions, and she can't recall any specifics on what was said. In fact, my apprentice seems to have forgotten many things since before the visitation. She could not tell me where she grew up, or what she likes to eat. At first I was so envious of her for having seen Whale with her own eyes, but it seems Whale's visit was to conceal, not to illuminate. I pray she endures the test of faith and can look back at the event and feel the joy of mystery. What is an answer without a question? Last week I felt the solution was ignorance, but after Whale's visit, I feel a road without length is closer to capturing the riddle. I worry my apprentice will look back at her visit from Whale and feel cheated, robbed of some moment of clarity we all thought we were owed when we first joined. I tried to tell her she was lucky, but she was too young to understand. What is an answer without a question? May I be dead, and my soul scattered to the winds before anyone knows for certain. But because they worship somebody that is all about questions and mystery, the very act of being visited by them essentially deletes some of your own history. You lose answers to gain questions.